Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of the 2x2 series, otherwise known as... real quick, this is Austin from the future, and I know I originally said that there would be a new episode every 2 weeks, but despite you'll see that I did improve quite a bit in this one episode, as far as the new methods I'm going to have to learn, and the boatload of practicing I'm going to have to do to get my average itself down below 2 seconds. It's going to take quite a bit. So I've decided to, instead of doing a new episode every 2 weeks, I'm going to do them once a month, as less of a check-in every day on how I've done. But from now on, it's just going to be more like a monthly update of my times and averages. So yeah, this first episode was, yes, over the course of 2 weeks. But from now on, it's going to be over the course of a month. After that quick interruption, let's get into the first episode of the 2x2 series. So, before starting the series, I did an average of 25 to get my sort of baseline stats. In it, my best average of 5 was 4.60, average of 12, 5.06, and average of 25, 5.51. With my best single being 3.92, and my worst being 7.45. And as of right now, my PB single is 2.75, and my PB average is, well, I've never really checked. Also, for this episode, I'm using the Ortega method. For right now, it's the best method I know. Well, it's because the only other one I know is beginner's method. But in the future, I'll learn more advanced methods. Also, just real quick, I wasn't able to record every day. I'm sorry. That's why you'll see me skip some days. So with that lengthy introduction, let's get into the solves. So day 1 was, well, very interesting. I don't know why, but apparently I did like 5 solves before I even started recording. And in them, I got a 2.31, which is already a new PB single. Anyway, so for day 1, since I hadn't really solved 2x2 in a while, I swapped between the best ones I had. I started with the MS 2x2, and right out of the gate, I got an 8.49. A horrible solve for me, but I didn't let that discourage me. Then I got a 6.52, still not good for me, so I swapped to the GAN 251. I got a 5.01, an average solve for me, but then I got a 2.59. My first sub 3 second solve that was on camera of the series, and trust me, there's gonna be some more of those later. After a bit, I swapped to the MGC, got some good sub 5s, but then, just because, I swapped to the Qiyi WuXia M. Yeah, that 2x2 from 2018. Anyway, then I got this, another sub 3, and it was my new PB single, again. Overall, day 1 was pretty crazy. My best average of 5 was 4.79, and average of 12 was 5.01. With my best single being 2.31, and my worst being 8.49. Day 3 was a pretty average day. The best solve I got was a 4.14, and the worst was a 6.64. Here's the rest of the stats for the day. Yeah, like I said, pretty average for me. Also, for most of my solves on day 3, I used the MGC 2x2, which I'll use quite a bit more over the next few days. Anyway, let's move on. Day 6 was also pretty average, some 5s, 4s, and a couple 6s. On day 6, I swapped back and forth between the MGC 2x2 and the GAN 251. Here's the stats. Let's move on to the next day. Day 7 was pretty interesting though. Yes, I had its fair share of 4s and 5s, but I also got a 2.33. The first sub 3 second solve since day 1. Also right after, I got a 3.94. The first sub 4 second solve after day 1. So in day 7, I got a best average of 5 of 4.83 and best average of 12 of 5.09. With my best single being 2.33 and my worst being 6.48. Overall, not too bad. Day 10 was, at most, slightly above average. I got a couple sub 4s, but besides that, it was pretty average. I will say though, I have a lot more 4s than 5s, so my average was quite a bit better. Also, I once again swapped between the MGC and the GAN 251. I got a best average of 5 of 4.21 and an average of 12 of 4.55, with my best single being 3.57 and my worst being 6.36. Day 13 was, well, kind of all over the place. In some places it was horrible, in other places it was great. Like, I got a 2.34, which is obviously really good for me. But I also got quite a few 6s and even a 7. There were quite a bit of 4s and some 5s in there too though. And of course the sub 4 and sub 3 kept my averages not too high. After all that, my best average of 5 was 5.09 and average of 12 was 5.44. And you already know the singles. Day 14, yes, was the last day of the episode, but also happened to be the craziest day. Yes, there were a few 6s, but there was one solve that made this day amazing. But before I get to that solve, there were also some 4s and 5s, and even a 3.6. But that one solve is this. Yes, I got a 1.65, a sub 2 second single. Not only is the first 2 second solve of the series, but it's my first sub 2 second solve ever. Here are the stats for day 14. Now let's go see those final results. So for the whole episode together, my best average of 5 was 4.26, and my best average of 12 was 4.55. My best single was 1.65, and my worst was 8.49. And remember that 1.65 doesn't mean the series is over. I'm looking for a consistent average. After this episode, my PB single is down to 1.65. And my PB average is now 4.26. So I'd say that's pretty good progress, seeing that all I did was, well, solves. I didn't really try to learn any new algs or anything. So yeah, guys, remember the next episode won't be until the end of January, but just think of all the progress I'm going to make until then. So yeah, that's the end of the video, but before I go, I just want to tell y'all, thank you so much for 200 subscribers. I'm going to make a 200 sub Q&A that'll come out on Christmas, so be sure not to miss that. And if you want to ask a question to be featured in the video, you can join my Discord server that's linked down below to ask one. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you did, and hit that bell icon to be notified when I upload. See you guys next time.